Due to climate change, millions of people are already suffering from the catastrophic effects of natural disasters. Climate change is expressed not only in rising temperatures, but also in extreme weather events, rising sea levels, changes in wildlife populations and habitats, and a host of other events. In this video, you will see moments of the fury of nature, which shook the planet in recent days. The United States is again suffering from a snowstorm. Let me remind you that in December last year, heavy snowfalls have already caused huge damage to the infrastructure of several states. This time, a snowstorm caused many accidents on the roads. 50,000 people were left without electricity. Thousands of flights had to be canceled due to bad weather. A state of emergency had to be declared in Boston, as extreme cold weather is expected in the northeast of the United States. Severe frosts will be accompanied by gusty winds. In such weather, it is better not to go outside. Temperatures are expected to drop to -25 degrees. More than 150 forest fires rage in Chile. The fire engulfed thousands of hectares. On February 3rd, a state of emergency was declared in the most affected regions of Biobío and Nubel. About 230 aircraft are involved in the fight against fire. 65 fires have already been brought under control. The fire destroyed the houses of local residents living near the forest. Authorities have closed 7 national parks due to the threat of wildfires. The fires were caused by extreme drought. Crops are under threat. In Japan, at an altitude of 2 kilometers near the ski resort in Nagano, an avalanche came down. Several tourists were injured. The victims most likely skated off-piste, separately from the rest of the group. Rescuers carried out search work, but did not report the identity of the victims. The government warned of the risk of an avalanche, but tourists ignored the message. A devastating tornado swept through the northeastern suburbs of Japan's capital, endangering the lives of at least 30 people and cutting off power to 24,000 homes. Tsukuba City was seriously damaged. Tsukuba, located in Ibaraki Prefecture, is a city known for its many research facilities. In Japan, tornadoes are much less common than in America, but they still happen occasionally. An underwater volcano erupted off the island of Vanuatu in the Pacific Ocean. A column of ash rose to a height of 100 kilometers. It happened early in the morning on the 1st of February. The underwater volcano, located 6 kilometers east of the island of Apia, is one of the active underwater volcanic cones and calderas that last erupted in year 2004. Authorities fear that groundwater explosions could cause tsunamis, so they are asking local residents to stay away from the coast. South Korea is suffering from a dust storm. This natural phenomenon was caused by the Asian dust cloud. This is a unique natural phenomenon observed in Southeast Asia. The smallest particles of dry soil are blown into the air by strong winds in the deserts of western China, Mongolia, and Kazakhstan. This time, the resulting dust clouds moved southeast and polluted the air in South Korea. Due to heavy rainfall and snowmelt, 15 settlements in Kazakhstan were flooded. Police officers were forced to temporarily close some roads to avoid accidents. 154 people had to be evacuated from the disaster zone. Due to meltwater in the Ordubasi region, the water level also increased on the 2 canals, Naiman and Kurtai. Now it flows into the Ares River. Volunteers help rescue people who are in danger due to flooding. Now the rains have stopped, but the water has not yet gone. However, many locals are already returning to their homes. In addition, many roads in Kazakhstan had to be closed due to fog and ice. Unfortunately, many people have already been injured due to ice. The roads were covered with a thin layer of ice, and it was impossible to move along them. Although the roads on which the passage was not blocked were cleared of ice, this did not help to avoid many accidents. Drivers should be very careful, and it is better to refrain from traveling until the weather returns to normal. A powerful typhoon hit the south of the Kuril Islands on the 2nd of February. The wind tore off 50 square meters of the roof of one building on the island of Shikotan. Schools had to be closed due to the influence of the cyclone. The inhabitants of some villages were left without electricity. The wind speed reached 36 meters per second. A magnitude 5 earthquake hit the shores of the Dominican Republic on February 1st. The epicenter was 50 kilometers from the city of San Cristobal, with a population of about 200 people, and 30 kilometers from Bani, with a population of about 100,000 people. Fortunately, there were no reports of casualties. Three avalanches descended in Tajikistan. Traffic is blocked on the Dushanbe-Kujan highway. The consequences of avalanches are eliminated. Dozens of units of special equipment were sent to fight against snow blockages. Lifeguards are on site around the clock. Those who were at the time of the avalanches on the highway were helped. In total, more than 20 avalanches have already descended in Tajikistan since the beginning of the year. In recent days, tropical cyclone Chineso has hit an island nation in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Africa, causing tragedy in Madagascar. The natural disaster forced 38,000 people to flee their homes. The northeastern regions of the states suffered most of all from the cyclone Chineso. The wind speed reached 170 kilometers per hour. On the evening of February 3rd, a tornado came ashore in Sochi, Russian Federation. The meteorological phenomenon was captured on video by eyewitnesses. Witnesses specified that the tornado scattered plastic tables and chairs along the beach, broke the windows of the cafe, and knocked out the door. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Meanwhile, in another Russian city, Novosibirsk, there has been smog for several days. Exhaust gases and numerous emissions of enterprises became the source of smog. People complain about the unpleasant smell of the air. Many have exacerbated chronic diseases. Meteorologists warn that smog will not dissipate in the coming days. The catastrophic state of ecology is observed not only in Novosibirsk, but also in many regions of Russia. Birds are dying en masse in the Stavropol territory, including the endangered species of common cranes. This is not the first time this has happened, and the exact cause has not yet been established. Due to heavy rainfall, most of the Syrian capital Damascus was flooded. The streets have turned into rivers. In places, there was a strong hail. Fortunately, most drivers have refrained from traveling. The showers were caused by a polar cyclone. These shots show how high the water level has risen. Many houses and buildings were flooded.